My name's Wesley Littlefield with YourBassGuy.com, and today we're going to learn how to rig the drop shot. The drop shot rig. You're going to fish this off of flats, off of rocky humps. I don't tend to fish it around real brushy areas because it just gets hung up so much. I'm not saying you can't catch fish, because you definitely can, but I spend more time trying to dig it out of the tree, scaring the fish off, than I do actually catching fish with it. So I tend to avoid brush, but I fish it where I know that there are fish, whether I've seen the fish there or I've seen them on my graphs, my fish finders. They're telling me that there are fish there. That's when I fish a drop shot. I'm not gonna go use it for a search bait because it's way too slow for that. You need to fish it way too slow to actually go out and find fish. Now with that said, I'm gonna use 3 different general soft plastics on my drop shotting. Now, there's all kinds of different ways you can do this, and find what works best for you is what I recommend doing. But I absolutely love these little baby rattlesnakes by Grande Fishing. And if you rig them wacky rig, it just, I don't know what it is, but the bass around my lake tear those up. And the next one I'm gonna use is something that's a little more natural looking to the bait fish in my area. And that's this little power bait minnow right here. And this is actually a drop shot minnow. So you're just gonna hook it right through, and I'll show you how to hook it here in a little bit, but right through the front, and it swims around and looks like a minnow. And that's another excellent drop shot bait. Mainly in a little clear water, especially that color. That's, it's got a clear, you can see through the top, and just a white belly, and it's more for clear water. And then lastly, I'm just gonna put on an old worm and hook it once again through the top front here and let it dance in the water, and as it swims along, and the bass are gonna eat it that way. But that's the 3 baits that I'm gonna be using, and the areas mainly that I'm gonna be using it. Like I said, you can fish it in brush and it will catch fish there. I cannot deny that. But you're more likely to get tangled up because of the exposed hook on this rig. So I don't recommend doing it if you're just learning it. Now, if you're just learning it, go throw it, in the open a little bit more. Learn to feel the bottom with your weight and all that stuff before going and heading to the brush. Other than that, let's get to tying this thing. What you're gonna need is drop shot hooks. I recommend not going any bigger than about a 1/0. This is what they should look like. And then you're gonna need drop shot weights. I like these little weights here because they can come off a lot easier, and you still don't have to re-rig everything if the line breaks or they just come off when you get hung up. And then of course, you need some kind of plastic, whatever your favorite plastic is to use. And I highly recommend fishing with fluorocarbon for a drop shot, because fluorocarbon sinks and it's a lot harder to see, and most of the time when you're fishing a drop shot, it's going to be tough fishing anyways. We're going to run the line through the eye and loop it back through the eye again, if I can see it. Pull out as long of a leader as you need. Go in here. We're going to keep it short for this demonstration, but if you need 1.5 feet, pull out 1.5 feet. If you only need 6 inches, pull out 6 inches. Now we're going to tie an overhand knot, like so. Don't tighten it.
go. Like so. So we've got our knot, we've got the loop, we've got the other kind of a short tag end here. Now we're going to put the hook through that little loop, and now we'll tighten it down. It's at this point, if I was really fishing, I would want to wet it down. Usually I just spit on it or dunk it in the water, but you tighten it down, cinch it down nice and good. It's there. And now if we were to leave it like this, put a weight on it, that hook is going to dance weird. It's not going to set properly when you try to set the hook. So now you're going to take your leader line and run it down through the eye one more time. And now that hook will set just like that and dance in the water. And now we can take our weight, run it through the eye here, don't set the hook in your finger like I did. And now we're ready for our worm, or our soft plastic. And you don't rig a drop shot normally like you would a Texas rig or anything where you come through the top exactly. You just rig it through the nose. So come here like so, and like so, and now that way when this sets out, now it's gonna dance. Ooh, dance. And that is what it should look like. The drop shot rig.